What I like about my job is the fact that I get to do what I always want to do, which is designing control systems. I have the opportunity also to work with different people in different fields. I mean, some projects I've been on, I've had the opportunity to work alongside of a mechanical engineer, a pipeline engineer, as well as a process engineer. Apart from that, the job itself, it's not just about technical side, it involves business side as well, and you have the opportunity to do things like budgeting and sometimes managing people.
And the current climate within the industry is such that there is a whole range of new opportunities which are presenting themselves for potential new graduates. The oil industry to some extent is at a bit of a crossroads and moving off in a whole diverse range in different directions. All sorts of new technologies are starting to be applied as people search deeper and further afield for new resources. And a range of those new opportunities make it a very exciting time to join the industry. I personally take a lot out of it because it really is evolving just now, and being part of that evolution is pretty exciting as much as anything else.
The highlights so far is definitely meeting all the different people from different backgrounds, different cultures, because I think that's a fantastic way to learn. And the possibility to travel within my work. I've been to Norway, to Karstad to see the gas plant, and I've also been to Oslo to meetings with Statoil Hydro, which was also a very good experience. So I think the experience I've gained so far is very valuable, and it's very good. It's a good start to my career.
Every industry presents its own challenges. For instance, the cotton industry was fiercely challenged by the abolition of slavery and the arrival of the boll weevil. So what kind of challenges are facing the 21st century British energy industry?
Environmental aspects in the energy industry at the moment is becoming more and more important, with increasing pressure internationally, Kyoto agreements and other pressures. There's a lot of pressure from the public with increasing environmental awareness to make sure that we incorporate energy or any environmental impacts into anything that we design or we produce or project manage. So in real terms, that means making sure that when we design something we incorporate, or we make sure that we include the minimum environmental impacts. So we assess the environmental impacts of the project we're producing, making sure that we reduce as much as possible any discharges, energy consumption, and look at the life cycle of that project, making sure that it's as least as it can be.
An environmentalist has a key role to play in all industries, and the oil and gas is included in that. I first got exposure to it through growing up in the area. Oil and gas, it's something that's important. Environment's becoming more of an issue across all industries, and through getting work experience, it really identified the need for an environmentalist and all the different kind of projects that environmentalists get involved with to reduce the environmental footprint that the oil and gas industry has, and just recognising the efforts that everyone's gone to, and everyone really drives towards improving their environmental footprint.
The world's environment and the need to be able to sustain our work in environmental engineering and our standard of living to the degree we wish to as a society requires basically hands-on engineering design. And it's not just mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, there's instrumentation, civil, structural, a whole variety of activities that support it, including logistics and project management. All these fields are open to us, and we move our people all around the world. Now, I think it's helping the world. As one young engineer stood up and said, I'm joining engineering because I know by doing so I can make a change. And I think that's what it's all about for me.
One of the greatest challenges facing the British energy sector must be the balance of providing British consumers and businesses with competitive energy on the one hand and conserving the environment on the other. So how are these two factors going to be reconciled?
Some of the biggest challenges really is changing the mindset of people that working in the industry, making sure that we can incorporate the new things that are coming out from government into those designs. So it's really an ever-changing role. There's new legislation coming out all the time, and it's making sure that we can react to that quickly and get that drilled down into the business. So in terms of what that means for the role, it means somebody that can really take something and roll with it quite quickly and influence a vast number of people quite quickly to get that change into the business. So really strong influencing skills, that type of person.
As an environmental engineer, I think that the oil and gas industry needs to be a more environmentally friendly industry, and has a lot to improve. And I think it is possible. So if we all work in a team to produce all of this technology and all these products that we all rely on, it can be very good.
You definitely want to get into the energy sector, and short of having your own oil rig or a stay-at-home nuclear reactor, then you'll need to impress an employer. With that in mind, what advice can our professionals give you to help you on your way?
My main advice to anyone seeking a career in engineering or in the energy industry is research about the company itself, and maybe inform yourself with the chief engineer of a certain department what exactly you'll be doing, what sort of deliverables you'll be producing. Maybe meet the team and see if you get on with all the people. And above all, if you're looking for a challenge and challenging work, then engineering is definitely a good profession for that.
Key bits of advice for any school leaver or a young or a university leaver, I would say, is tap into the career service at your university or college. I had a look through all the books to see about what typical interview questions, so that sort of gives you an outline of what they might ask you. With regard to the more technical questions, I would say internet again, looking at what the key, for my case, it's looking at the key environmental impacts, sort of having an idea about the oil and gas's influence on them. And then I also bought a book on how to succeed at an interview and assessment centre, so I suppose that, well, I'm here now, so it might have helped.
I'd say the key thing is you've got to be proactive. If you don't go out there and look around and find the information for yourself, then no one else is going to do it for you. You're expected, I suppose, from the age of 21 upwards to have that sort of ability to go out there and do your own research, do your own homework on the companies and find out the information for yourself. The key thing as well, I suppose, would be meet the challenge. Is you've got to raise the game a bit from university. There's a lot of things that are going on within the business that are very dynamic, and you have to be on your toes to keep on top of that and prioritise your tasks.
What I would advise people looking for a career in the energy industry, looking to start out, I would advise to start with your degree. Start there and don't be afraid to shy away from what might be seen as a hard subject. Engineers and scientists are very much in demand, and those subjects are extremely useful to the energy industry and will certainly be in high demand in the coming years.
The advice I'd give to anyone interested in bringing their career into the energy sector is to be inquisitive, is to go and ask people their opinions, to investigate all the different ways in which one could bring their career into the energy sector. The energy sector is clearly got high degrees of publicity associated with it, so in some senses people don't have to look too far. But there are many, many facets to this industry, and I think there's a home for anyone that has an interest in this sector.
Knowing a lot of physics and mathematics when I was in school, and I now like to apply the principles in physics immediately, narrows my career towards engineering, because engineering is basically applied physics. Whereas somebody looking to do medicine, I would say, if you have a great knowledge in biology and mathematics and you like to apply what you learn in biology into it, that's a good career path to go for medicine. So the subjects you do really in school will narrow what you do as kind of part of your career.